What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Last night, I watched the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie in IMAX, yes, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the movie. There will be spoilers, so please, if you have not seen the movie, go watch it and then come back, because I will be spoiling you, and it was a pretty good movie. So, yeah, let's just get it out of the way. I love the movie. I thought it was pretty fantastic. And I'll get into detail on some of my things about the movie and why I actually liked it over some of the seasons. So, yeah, so this movie had three major parts, right? The first part was, of course, Shinobu versus Doma. Then we had part two, which was Zenitsu versus the Upper Six guy, it was kind of Zenitsu's like partner that his grandfather was teaching him about the lightning powers or whatever. And then, of course, we had the third fight, the third sequence of the movie, Akaza versus Giyu and Tanjiro. And God flippin' jig, just got it went up. It kept on getting better, which is just I'll just get into it now. The old-fashioned Demon Slayer is pretty much known at this point for having a pretty weak build-up with backstories and other like pretty boring fights. To be honest, like for this movie, for instance, there's a lot of like background fighting with like the little demon corps fighting like these weaker demons, and then obviously towards the end of the season / episodes, you would see a full-on fight where 80% of the budget goes into, and that was definitely happened again in this movie. Each section had their own backstory and then a fight to go with it. And it got better as we went on. And it's just like, that is the classic Demon Slayer formula. And I'm not saying it's terrible. However, in the last couple seasons, in fact, all the seasons rather, you kind of see this throughout the whole part. And it's pretty much like, I was pretty much expecting this from the get-go. Where I know at the end, we're going to get some kind of beautiful masterclass type of animation and fights, and that's what happened here. And it's not really like a knock on the show, for instance. It just kind of makes it, I can pretty much like see it coming. And I think this format actually works better in a movie, because this movie was around like 2.5 hours, I believe. I don't think this formula works in a movie sense. And Demon Slayer is already popular enough, so you're not going to see too much criticism from it. But I've said this before, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, where some of the in episodes of the seasons just feel kind of rather slow. They don't really feel like it's not that engaging. There's not much going on, and then sometimes in the seasons you get some characters with some really boring backstories that just aren't that interesting and aren't that complex, and it's just not that interesting to watch. So I think having a movie where it's pretty fast paced, you cut out some of the mellow crap that no one really wants to see. You put in the cool characters, and then it's actually a good way to do it. So I think this format actually really works with the Demon Slayer movie, and I'm actually really excited that we're actually getting a Trilogy series, obviously, for the Infinity Castle arc, which is just a lot of fights going on. I also liked how, again, Demon Slayer, it's all about, 2v1s for the most part. The first two fights were 1v1s, I suppose, but it's kind of cool how the last fight had 3 people, and I'm assuming it's going to continue doing that. And obviously, it's kind of like Shibuya and flipping JJK, a lot of death. And, I just like it when animes, take that stride, aren't scared to throw it around. Because at the end of the day, if there's no stakes, then there's nothing to be, excited for and, kind of contemplate. So, yeah. So, again, but that was just my main point about the whole plot. I actually really like this format in the movie style. And other than that, this movie was fantastic, bro. The OST, oh my god. Let me show you guys. One second. This... Eimer, A World Where the Sun Never Rises, Lisa, Shine on the Cruel Night. Holy crap. These soundtracks are so flipping good. Like compliments to the chef, man. The OST was probably some of the best I've heard. Like Demon Slayer are some of the best OSTs. 1000%. It's just so flipping good. The animation was so good. And I don't know if I ever said this before, but I think Demon Slayer, hands down, has the best 3D animation in all of anime. Usually 3D animation is kind of hit or miss. And Demon Slayer does it so well, and it just looks so clean and crisp. Of course, there's some times where it's okay, it's a little much, but the particle effects, the sheer just the special effects, everything about Demon Slayer animation is just leagues ahead of everyone else. The only a studio I can even put up there is Mappa. It's unreal. The fights were so flippin' fantastic. And then finally, the actual backstories. Holy crap. Everyone's backstory was good. I was so entranced by all the backstories. They were so entertaining. The pacing was great. Like this movie was great. I almost have no real complaints about it other than it ending. Like it was honestly a really fantastic movie. I had a great time. So going on into the actual like segments of it, and I'm pretty much just gonna rank them as they are, three, two, one. Shinobu versus Doma honestly wasn't that exciting. Doma for me was actually my favorite, not my favorite character, but my favorite demon design wise. He looked really cool, and I like how he looked, and of course his fans were really cool. But yeah, his fight with Shinobi wasn't that interesting. She is pretty much the weakest Hashira. I think she's only there because she's like a healer or whatever. And yeah, that fight was just not entertaining. It was pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. And she just got eaten alive. I was not expecting her to get like eaten, like going into his body. But that was pretty cool. And of course, Penny Girl getting in there, and I'm assuming some other Hashiras are gonna get in there. They're gonna fight Doma. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think Doma was really cool, but the fight was pretty lackluster. Secondly, we have Zenitsu versus the Upper Six guy. That fight was awesome. Zenitsu, like, I got spoiled that he was gonna do something cool, and obviously here we are. And I was kind of expecting it from the trailers, of course. But yeah, Zenitsu just like he flippin' did it, and it was worthwhile. Oh my god, he's really cool. The animation for his one slash against the guy was awesome. Like he literally one shot an Upper Six. Like again, like if like obviously this guy has to be weaker than Gyutaro, but like Gyutaro was still really strong and getting like oh my god, it was just such a good bit. Like it was awesome, man. That fight was awesome. But it has nothing to do with Akaza versus Gyu and Tanjiro. That was the best fight of the movie. Holy crap, the animation was so flipping good when Tanjiro flipping like went in his brain and locked the flip in and just dodged everything. All those punches, it was so awesome. Like I guess another criticism you can give the movie is that like Tanjiro Loki has like plot armor, and yeah, that's honestly a fine criticism. But at the end of the day, I don't think you're really watching Demon Slayer for like the thick story that's very complex and intertwined. It's pretty basic, right? I mean, like I already said, the formula is literally used for every single season slash arc. It's pretty basic. I'm not really surprised Tanjiro has plot armor. Like nothing, and obviously I'm not expecting him to die or anything. Like I don't know. I think it's pretty like simple, and I think that's fine. Demon Slayer isn't like the best show of all time in terms of depth. I think it's the best show in terms of entertainment. That's kind of the whole point of the show. It's kind of entertaining for not everyone of all ages, I suppose, but just everybody. Like you couldn't go into this movie if you like action shows, and you're gonna enjoy it. It was just so entertaining to watch, and I think that's the whole point of Demon Slayer, and it's why I don't really flag on the whole idea that he had plot armor, he flipping just became buffed, and he almost on his own killed a flipping Oppa 3. Like that shouldn't happen, but it did. And I think that's fine. I don't really care that much about it. But yeah, him and Giyu, oh my god, they flipping locked in. It was awesome. That fight was awesome. But not even that. Akaza has the best backstory in Demon Slayer. Holy crap. That was so good. Like, that was the first time that was pretty much the first time out of all the demons so far where I actually felt bad for the flipping demon. Like, it was so good. Seeing him transition from being a bad guy into a cool, what was it, like a not mentor, but working with his mentor and working with his kid, into, going back and ravaging a whole flipping, dojo, just becoming a demon. It was just all these demons, most of these characters, all the Hashiras, they're all tragedies. They all have a tragic backstory and all that. This one just felt different, man. It was so wholesome. It was so good. I was just so upset about it. And like Akaza just hands down has the best backstory. Also had the best fight in the show pretty much at this point. The only one I would give up is Gyutaro, of course, with Tanjiro and Tengen. But like even then, like the fight was just so good. He also has one of the most unique like fighting styles, just punching and kicking. I thought it was just awesome. The tattoos calling back to when he was like, punished for stealing, and one of my favorite parts in the actual in the film was when Tanjiro slashed his head off, and then they went into the backstory, when his master and his kid and his father, when they all died. The father hung himself. You didn't see his head. And then when you saw the dojo master guy and his daughter, when they died from being poisoned, their heads were covered. And I thought that was really good. I don't know what you would call that, illusion, foreshadow. I don't know what word to use, but I love that part because like it was like, oh, his head is cut off. It was really cool about the head thing. I really like that part. That was probably my favorite part of the show. Of the movie rather. It was just so good. I love Akaza. Like I didn't really care about him before. I obviously did not like him because he killed the goat, Rengoku. But yeah, I just, oh my god, he was so cool. He really, like, hats down. or hats off, I guess. And then I was also being told how Akaza like learned to regen during that fight. Like Monkey was like regenning his head and was about to like go back for round two. And if that happened, I knew he was dead. But obviously that wasn't gonna happen. He was gonna give up because yeah, he found what was it, paradise? I don't really know what to say. But yeah, it was just such a good film. I really enjoyed it. Props to Flippin' Youthful and all the people around it. It was such a good movie. I had a great time. And I'm so excited for in 2 years to get the second part of the movie. And yes, I am expecting half the Hushers to die. I don't know who, but I'm expecting half of them to die. There's just no flipping way. I can't. These guys are so strong. It's awesome, bro. And like, there's just no way Upper One is just, I don't know. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see Muzan flipping coming out and Nezuko coming back. Oh my god, it was so flipping good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a unfiltered review of the film. Really good. You guys should go see if you like Demon Slayer. And yeah, holy crap, it was so good. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day and take care. Have a good week.